What is up, guys and girls? So, in the past, I would say week, 1 to 2 weeks, I have somehow had enough free time to watch about um, a couple seasons worth of Big Bang Theory. Um, now, I just want to give you my opinion on a series and explain to you guys what I think about it and exactly why I decided to drop it. So don't get me wrong, I think it's an awesome series and it's really funny. But after like watching so many in a row, I kind of like the jokes got kind of old, and they all sort of centered around the fact that Sheldon is really, really smart and really quirky in his own way. So that in itself sort of like it was like okay, it's getting old. They sort of just play the same sort of thing over and over with Sheldon being like awesome. And there wasn't like too many real developments. Like there were throughout seasons 1 and 2. Well, at least enough for me to want to continue on. That whole thing with Leonard and Penny, it was really entertaining, so that kept me going for a while. And then they finally became, spoiler alert, they finally became boyfriend and girlfriend, and it was all really well. And I just love the whole fact that it was really organic. It's such an organic series because you could just tell that the cast members really enjoyed it, and there was actual chemistry there, and they were actually having fun being who they were, and they embodied their characters so well. But it got old. I'm not gonna lie. Like it got old. There, I got to season 3, about episode 8, and I think they're currently on season 7 and still running. The last season started in September, so it's still going on now in January, I think. But I mean, it just hit a lull, and it was just like the same sort of gag thing going over and over again with the cast and the whole plot. Um, and that's kind of the thing with TV shows like that. That 70 shows or Friends or whatever other, comedy TV show, they always have to like end the series and either bring it back to the starting place, or at least in the well, at least sometimes they sometimes just make the ending something different, but then the next episode everyone's back to normal again. It's the same thing with like The Simpsons and everything. No matter what happens, you know that at the end of the day, once the next episode airs, everyone is back to where they started. Penny's in the room across. Leonard, Sheldon, and the crew are back to where they started. Same thing with Family Guy, The Simpsons, Friends, and a lot of other TV shows. And sometimes they go beyond that because they'll make the ending so that some crazy stuff is happening, and you might start to wonder a little bit, how are they going to get to where they were initially? And at least with the Big Bang Theory, it always ends up coming back. And I think how most series sort of spice this up is they either add in new characters, or they develop relationships between the characters in unique ways that end up being permanent, which certain series don't do, like Family Guy, because that also ages the series. So the viewers kind of like they have to keep watching in order to understand it, and it makes it like a niche crowd, so that anyone can't just pop into a random season and just start watching. And because of that age of the series, it almost predetermines it to have like a deadline. And Family Guy didn't want that, because it didn't need to. It noticed that all the viewers liked the series enough so that they didn't get bored by the same old thing over and over again. And that is why Family Guy is still running after so many series. And same thing with SpongeBob. I mean, SpongeBob's like what, 10 years in running, 20 years in running. It's crazy. Despite the quality of the episodes dying down dramatically. Um, so I guess what I can say is that I think I'll keep. I don't know if I'll keep watching. I think I might. But I've sort of like hit a lull where I don't know if I want to continue with it because of that issue. Like, let it. Like, the truth is, like, it's the same sort of thing over and over again. And I know they will add in like a few recurring characters later on. But the biggest thing was I actually like watching the bloopers more than the original now because like I actually wanted to see like the real interactions more than the fake ones. And then through the bloopers, I watched like a live taping, and it just turned into something that was it was like too orchestrated. Like I know it's like a fake series and stuff, but it was like they had like a live audience there, and the audience would talk about they would laugh every off like whenever they're they're not cued to laugh, but it just didn't seem like what I thought it would be, which is kind of naive, but I mean it is fake and stuff. So I saw like the live audition, and then there's like it was really professional in that like every scene was like done, and then they had to redo it, and there's all these cameras around and tons of people. And for me it was like a shocker because it was like, wow, there's a lot of people. It's not really what's going on here. It's not like what you see in the show is what's happening. And it's, I mean, it may be organic, but like a lot of the moments I actually saw in the TV show, like for instance, when there's like a really serious scene or a really sad scene or a really funny scene, a lot of times I saw that in the live audition thing, and it was like, okay, they're not actually serious or sad or really engaged into it. Like it's all sort of like procedure oriented. They're like action, cut, and then they go back onto it. Not saying that they don't like love their roles and they're not into the story, but it's like, wow, it's different. So yeah, that's kind of all I want to say about the series. And uh it's really strange because I saw this sort of, there's this one video I saw where it was like a Big Bang Theory flash mob, and basically all the cast and crew did like a flash mob in the middle of a scene where they played a few pop songs and they danced to them when the directors weren't expecting it. And then I noticed how much cast and crew were there, and it's like, this is a whole procedure. It's crazy. And I'm like, wow, it's the life of an actor or actress isn't that simple. It's not just like you walk in there and it's just actors and then you just do the scene with no one but like one cameraman and the director. It's crazy. And it's like, okay, these, like, I kind of hate it in the fact that, you know, they're actors. They're not actually these characters, which is kind of naive, but still, I mean, I knew it from the start, but actually experiencing it was something different. And so I think I made a video on this before, and I was like, man, wouldn't it be so great to live in that Big Bang Theory world, and just be around Penny and so forth, or even be an actor in the series. And then it's like, now I'm like, okay, that's too simplistic of a world. It's not realistic. And then the actual world of acting in the Big Bang Theory isn't like exactly what you thought it was. Regardless, still, I would love to try it out. But yeah, I think long story short, what I'm saying here is watching too much of cable can really screw with your mind. So long story short, I still have not yet decided what's going on. Maybe I will keep watching the series, or maybe I won't. And if I do, I have a feeling I may get so attached that I might start breaking down when I finish the entire 7 seasons. And I realize amount of series, which I hope won't happen. But it's crazy. I actually watched. There's these Chinese TV series that I watched. No, they were not soap operas or live action. They were a very special type of wuxia, which doesn't have an American definition, and it was it was so amazing. The plot was ridiculous, and I watched it. And once I finished it, I had such a feeling of nostalgia. Like, wow, it's over. I wish this went on forever. Anyhow, that's all I gotta say. As always, like, favorite, comment, and subscribe.